well as the medals and the glory, he'll surely be remembered for something additional. One of the finest nicknames in football, the Romford Pele.
Well, it was Mark Overmars in training one day. I think I put the ball through Dennis Bergkamp's legs. I went round Mark Overmars, and done something else, and I hit the ball and it went in the top corner. And he just sort of turned around and said, "You like the Romford Pele?" And I said, "You don't even know where Romford is, do you?" And he went, "No." And that was like a bit of a joke. And then that afternoon, I think he done the press, Mark Overmars. And one of the questions was, "Can you win the Premiership, Barclays Premier League this year?" And what did he say? "Yeah, we can definitely win it because we've got the Romford Pele on our side." And it seemed to go into the media and it sort of stuck. And yeah, it was down to Mark Overmars, but I don't mind. Romford's only a small place, as they say, but I don't know about Pele.
Parler's self-effacing personality was part of what made him such a legend during his 12 years at Arsenal. A remarkable journey that began when George Graham gave him his debut at the age of 19. The midfielder went on to win 3 different cups under the revered Scottish manager, but it was that early show of faith that meant so much to the young footballer.
Well, George was a great manager for what he achieved. He had a great back four. He moulded that back four into how good they were. Lee Dixon, Nigel Winterburn, Tony Adams, Steve Bold, Mike Keown, obviously David Seaman as well. And he was a great manager, George, he really was. And George definitely moulded me, giving me my debut at Liverpool. He was very happy to play me, and George was a big part of my career. I thank him for giving me that chance on debut, but probably my career moved on when Arsene Wenger came into the club.
Wenger arrived in 1996 after Bruce Rioch's brief spell in charge. The Frenchman, of course, revolutionised life at Highbury, demanding stricter work ethics, implementing specific dietary guidelines, and introducing a more attacking brand of football. Parler was one of the primary beneficiaries of these changes.
I think I was in a crossroads really. I could go one way or the other way. A bit more dedication, a bit more belief in my ability, a bit more practice. All footballers out there, stay behind for another half an hour, 45 minutes, and try and improve. And that's what it's all about. Getting a better player. People like Dennis Bergkamp obviously was at the club then as well. And we'd be walking into training and Dennis would be staying out practicing, and we'd all be looking at each other saying, "Well, he's a better player than us. Why aren't we out there as well?" So that was a big difference as well. Suddenly I've got me big opportunity. You're playing with better players as well, and it makes you a better player. And once I got that chance, Arsene Wenger was very, very fair with me. He said, "Look, if you're in the side and you're playing well, you'll stay in that side." And that gave me my belief to stay in the side, and I never looked back from there really.
Wenger's task of pegging back Manchester United was a daunting one. Having won 4 of the first 5 Premier League titles, Sir Alex Ferguson's side were clearly the dominant force in English football. But Wenger was intent on landing the Gunners their first league championship since 1991. He set about crafting a beautifully balanced team capable of challenging Ferguson's men.
I think Arsene Wenger, he had a good back four. We knew we had a good enough squad to challenge Manchester United, because there was always the one to beat. We had a very good understanding in the midfield area. Mark Overmars coming in on the left-hand side, Patrick Vieira, Petit in the central, I played on the right, and here Dennis Bergkamp in right, and then Elka, obviously, when he was a young boy. So we had a great, great team, and we knew we could challenge. There's no doubt in that. That was the big game, though, the Old Trafford game. Overmars scoring. We knew we had to win that game if we got any chance. And that sort of gave us that extra push towards the end of the season.
That famous victory at Old Trafford was one of 10 straight wins, which saw Arsenal claw back an 11-point deficit to take their first Premier League title. And there was more to come. The Gunners defeated Newcastle in the FA Cup final at Wembley in May, with Ray Parler delivering 2 assists in a man-of-the-match performance. By the 01-02 season, Parler was combining with the likes of Thierry Henry and Romford Pele to deadly effect. The Gunners were chasing their first piece of silverware in 3 years and faced another late-season showdown at Old Trafford. But before that, they faced Chelsea in the FA Cup final in Cardiff, a title tight game hung in the balance when, on 70 minutes, the Romford Pele produced a moment of magic. A sensational 25-yard strike to swing the tie Arsenal's way.
I remember running through and thinking, well, those are all the red shirts, there's all blue shirts everywhere, and I've got to give it a go, I've got to shoot myself. Usually it could go anywhere, you know, I think the crowd ducked behind the goal, but lucky enough it went in the top corner. And that was that, and whoever scored that first goal, trust me, would have won the game. And Chelsea were very close just before that, so you know, it was a great week that was, because 4 days later, we came to Old Trafford to win the double, so you know, great memories, and to score in the FA Cup final was really one of my best memories ever.
Parlour enjoyed more FA Cup success a year later, but in the 03-04 Premier League season, the Romford Pele & Co were writing an unforgettable chapter in footballing folklore. Setting out to reclaim their league title from Manchester United, the Gunners were imperious, brushing opponents aside with a physical dominance combined with fluid attacking prowess that wowed football fans across the globe. Into his 30s and with competition for places intense, Parlour played 36 times in all as the North Londoners went the entire league campaign undefeated. They were, quite simply, invincible.
It's an amazing achievement, really. You don't realise how hard it was. Again, you need a bit of luck along the way. You know, you can go back to Perez getting a penalty against Portsmouth, which probably wasn't a penalty. Then he scores smashing the bar 89th minute against Old Trafford. So that's how easy it is to lose a game. But I would find it really hard to do that now. I think the league's a lot more competitive now, a lot harder. That's why it's the most exciting league in the world, because it's so competitive. And I think it'd be tough to do that now, yeah, without doubt.
The invincible season was Parlour's last at Arsenal. He left on a glorious high, having won 3 league titles, 5 domestic cups and a European trophy. His final game saw them notch up their 100th away win in the Premier League. He eventually called time on his playing days in 2007, after spells with Middlesbrough and Hull, bowing out with a stack of cherished memories.
You miss being a football player because you miss the banter. People don't see that day to day in the dressing room areas and training. You know, when you work, but off the field it's a bit of fun as well. You know, I wore my heart on the sleeve. You know, I tried my best every game. Consistent. I was pretty consistent towards the end of my career. I've been very, very lucky to play with some top players. The likes of Bergkamp, Henry, Tony Adams, Ian Wright, as we mentioned, Patrick Vieira, Perez. Some great players, and you know,